parent-teacher conferences seriously.
Yeah, even though I find them awkward, I still go. Of course I go.
So should I amend my motion?
I think the first motion, I'd actually like the two of you to withdraw because we could not have acted on that.
I'll withdraw.
You see? Okay, so now I'd entertain a second motion.
So I guess the more appropriate motion would be to accept the calendar that we have produced here this evening.
I'll second that.
We
Can you
haven't-
hold on, we haven't finished it yet.
We haven't settled on
Are we talking?
teacher conference day.
I
thought we just did.
I made a proposal, but I didn't hear yes, that was great. Like,
Well, it would be part of the whole calendar vote.
Right.
We're not voting on individual dates here. So, what do you think? 25th, 26th?
No. She was suggesting that it should be earlier. You were
Well,
suggesting
I
it
had
should be
suggested earlier too, so that they had time to improve,
I'm not
but
sure why the
Right, so,
teachers checked into it earlier.
well, I think, because earlier, I mean, we do NWEA, we do all of the assessments. We don't let students go until the end of November without giving them help or supporting them if they need help. This is just kind of a check-in, you know, if kids are struggling, I would like to assure parents, I would like to say that teachers talk to parents and say, oh gosh, your kid is struggling, well before the end of November. That if they are struggling, we're giving them the supports and the help. That's consistently happening. But this is a check-in point where the assessments have been done. We've done NWEA. We would have been done NECAP, those kinds of things.
the grades would already be out of high school. They wouldn't have time to improve anything.
And there was no kneecap, correct? So
Did you have what?
no kneecaps?
Right, we're moving to Smarter Balance and it will be a spring assessment.
So should we run through the calendar one more time, just to,
Okay.
I don't know which ones.
from
Yeah,
the start?
And we need to count days to make sure that.
Okay, so
You want a completely new printout after you run?
So are we saying the 26th is then a day off for parent-teacher conferences? Consensus?
Without objection, yeah.
I'll start from the very beginning just to double check all the, do you mind doing that?
Yeah.
I'm gonna check one out.
So August stays as it was.
Okay.
September added the 24th early release day. October has the 10th and the 13th off.
Which is what you had in there originally, right?
Yes. I just didn't have the grid marks, so.
Okay.
November has the 11th off. And for kids, it would have the 26th, the 27th, and the 28th off, unless they're going to parent-teacher conferences. And so the parent-teacher conferences would be the night of the 25th and the morning of the 26th. December has the 24th through the 31st off for holiday. January has the 1st and the 2nd off for holiday. And the 14th as an early release day. February has the 23rd through the 27th off for winter recess.
So can I back up? So Civil Rights Day is no longer a day off?
Right.
Oh,
How
how
would
is it?
you address the
How does that work?
paid employees?
What would you, well,
It's a-
I mean, let's ask the board. What do you want to do about that? If we take that day off, they get out on the 16th now of June, which is a Tuesday.
Is it normally given off?
It has been, yes. It hasn't been until this year, I guess, that's 1 month, so they've changed it now. They'll take it. Anyone have a strong opinion?
Is there another day that, when the teachers would be off, that we could give the paid employees off?
Well, it's also the administration,
Yeah.
their contracts. Well, if the teachers are in and the support staff are out, the administration is going to be in. So,
We're in every day, teachers are in.
you know,
Yeah,
so,
well, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
I think that maybe we just ought to have it off this year. And
Yep.
I agree. Yeah, so that date was
January 19th.
January 19th, yeah. January 19th, you have that, Mike?
Fine.
So we were at the end of February, back in January again. March, nothing, except snow days. April recess, oh no, I'm sorry, April 17th, parent-teacher conference. April 27th to May 1st, spring recess. May 25th, Memorial Day. Now, I'm a little concerned, hold on before I finish June. 1, 2,
Yeah, I'm adding them up right now.
7, 8, 9, 10. There's barely 10 days in June. Okay, so I'm looking at those snow days. Is that what you were doing, Stacy?
Yeah, I'm actually just counting up days to
Yeah.
make sure we're.
So I'm going to count 2,
You go to the
so you have
29th.
double. But June 16th would be the last day, and then the 17th to the 30th would be the allowed snow days. Should be awful. Yeah. Because then
So the support staff got it again.
So I have the 17th as the last day. Is that what you guys were just saying?
I thought it was the 16th, but it might be because I was getting
So-
Martin Luther King. So,
I have 21 days in September,
Mhm.
21 days in October, 16 days in November, 17 days in December, 19 for January, 15 February, 22 March, 17 for April, 19 for May, which totals 167, which needs 13 days left, which would be the 17th.
okay, that doesn't leave us 10 days on the end for snow days without going into July.
Okay, so the one option you can do, which is never happy, but you're required by law to have 10 available days, is you can put a clause on. I've done in the past when you go late is that the board has the right to use April vacation to make up days, should it be necessary. It's never a favorite, but by law, you have to have 10 days available. But knowing that if we go 9 days, you could potentially be taking days from April vacation.
It's not likely to be worse than this year.
Well, if we had snow days for every day we've had off, it would be 11 days. We've had 5 snow days, 3 early releases, and 3 delayed openings.
I know in the past we have gone to the state to ask for some dispensation, and because we have more hours per day.
So
than
this,
a lot of
yeah,
places.
so the state actually changed their practice. You can't ask for a waiver unless you use your 10 days. Because they had so many school districts, I think, just taking days and asking for waivers.
Didn't the law change and it's no longer 180 days, but
Right,
it's
you
hours?
can count hours, but we still count days.
Right, but we can count hours, we go more than the usual number of hours. So if we started counting hours,
You could cut days off your contract, but then you have teachers that your, you would
And
be,
support
that your
staff.
contract is not, your
Right.
teacher's contract is based on days,
And
not
support
hours.
staff.
right, but what I'm saying is if we get to the end of the year and we're needing to make up snow days, if we account those by hours as opposed to days, and just,
So
You know, have we-
we do a calendar by days, so we would have to apply to the state to approve it. I can't guarantee you that they would, I'm not
Well,
saying
they
they
are-
wouldn't, but I'm not saying,
well,
I'm
the
not
law,
here to
but
speak for the state.
the
but I
law
think
doesn't allow that anymore. My
we choose
understanding,
hours or days. We choose days.
my understanding was it's just hours now. Now, just,
It's hours, or you have to, but we've always had a minimum number of hours that we've been required to be in
right, but as
school
of
for.
this year, I was told that the accounting.
As of several years ago, you could actually choose by hours or by days.
Do you have to choose one or the other?
Yeah, because we submit a calendar to the state, and we submit it by days.
If we really got in that position, we could also have a Saturday service day, right?
There's lots of options that you
Yeah,
can
it
look at
doesn't
at that
have to
point.
come from April vacation, I mean, I know it can, but
We're talking one day, right?
one day. If we used all 9, so that we didn't go into July.
So I would just add, and I want to throw another kinker into this conversation because we might be somewhere.
Go
Just,
ahead.
you're getting, the day we're projected to get out is now the day we're getting out after 5 snow days. So just know that it is likely we will be in the last week of June for school. So just know, again, it's a matter of fact, the later you start, the later you go. There's 180 days in there somewhere. No matter how you count it, there's 180 days.
That's honestly why I got rid of the conference days, because it was gonna be so long, but I understand. Because I looked at the contract too, they're not.
Parent-teacher conferences. No, but they're good for,
I know.
I mean, they're good for students.
I know.
Well, why if we start a week later, we're out
Right
a
at
week
night.
later, even though we've taken 2 days off Christmas vacation as well?
What's that?
Why, if we start a week later, we would be going a week later,
Possibility.
even though we've taken 2 days off Christmas?
What's April 27th?
Already,
That
but
should
Yeah,
shorten
well, that would
June
be
by
possible, we could
a
put
couple
on
days.
that says it.
Or maybe
If we needed to, we would take days of So if this is the calendar, we can, is the board okay that we would put a clause in there about April vacation?
Or Saturday.
I'm counting myself.
just to clarify, if you were to go over to have 11 or 10 snow days prior to April vacation, you would automatically take 1 day for that, correct? Is that how that would work?
Well, the board, yeah, right, the board would make, again, we could look at other options. But
Is it-
somewhere on this calendar, you have to account for 10 days.
Or you can make it a Saturday, go to school on Saturday.
Or 4 Saturdays, depending on, so again, you kind of, if you keep it generic, like, because otherwise you could have, you know, we could have 12 snow days next year. I hope not. This year has been enough.
Have you ever talked about, I'm not sure exactly what they're called, but I kind of call them go bag days.
The blizzard bags.
The blizzard bags, have you ever talked about
We've
that?
explored them. I mean, I polled the teachers. It's a mixed bag on whether people are for it or against it. I think some of the conversation around is the quality of what that looks like. You have to have 80%. It is a conversation I'm open to having with people. It's not something that I'm against. It just, this year we've had other priorities that I just haven't, it hasn't been a priority to look at.
My district piloted them, we created them, and did them for 2 years before the state approved them for any district to do. And it is a mixed bag, and you have to have the teachers involved in it because it's a change in working conditions. And so I don't think, we could authorize Stacy to look into it, but we wouldn't be saying we're doing it, we're not doing it, I think, until a committee had formed and looked into it. Because I know I teach semester courses, and I had 3 blizzard bag days in the first month of the semester. It's pretty trashed, you know, when you have that many on top of the else with snow days. Yeah, but my district does not do any early releases ever. So that also complicates things, and that's part of why, and they don't deliver children to their household, they deliver them to drop points. So that's part of why they have that policy, no early release days. Okay, so. Okay, I think there might be a mistake in the days added, and I'm just trying to figure out where it might be. I think we're not going quite that late. Did you?
I'm getting there. I wonder, see, what about May? Why is that?
Thinking it's
Well,
not, no, because we have the 25th.
Yeah, but
May 1st is
May
off.
1st.
May 1st and May 25th
May 1st is off.
is the rest of the holiday. That's the rest of that school vacation.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
okay.
all right. The problem is the days in between the start and end dates and how they're used more than it is. I'm just waiting.
If I can add.
Yes.
So that, are you still okay with the last day of school for students as a half day? And the reason for that was, with
Yes.
feedback from the teachers, we moved up,
Yes.
instead of another day, we moved it to the
Yes.
beginning of the year.
I'm gonna just explain that to the new board members. The teachers used to have a day at the end of the year, and now it's been put at the beginning of the year. So there is no teacher contract day at the end. So she's talking about having an early release day on the kids' last day of school, so teachers have that half-day contract day to clean up. And you know, they're still gonna be there the next day, cleaning up, but
But it gives us 3 professional development days in the beginning of the year as opposed to 2.
okay. Make the 17th a half-day, correct?
Yeah.
17th of June.
May not be the last day.
Right, but the plan
Yeah.
last day. So, I need a motion, you wanna pass that thing?
Are we gonna have a written schedule to refer to here, or?
I'm trying to fill in the days, and then I can print them out, because this wasn't color-coded, so I'm trying to at least highlight the days that you're in school, an early release, and then the days off. But if you want, I can just print it out as is right now, without highlighting those. It's up to you.
No, I just wanna make sure that I word this correctly,
Oh, okay,
and
sorry.
that I don't have to list out each individual day.
While we're waiting then, we're gonna move on to the next item, is that okay? All right, so I see policies for first reading, and so I understand there should be a motion to table. Is there a motion to table?
We did that, we discussed that.
Okay, and then the next item is the teacher contract next steps. Yes, go ahead.
Madam Chair, I think we discussed this to the point where perhaps no action is necessary in terms of moving forward, other than that there appear to be consensus to do so, but we have to organize ourselves formally. And so when you get back the feedback on the committee structure, we can discuss CBA letters.
Okay, so do you have, are you suggesting we table this?
I just think no action is necessary. I don't
Okay.
need to take-
Is there any objection to
Personal
that? Okay, so no action necessary on this one. Next one is the towns of Hebron and Bridgewater withdrawal. The last time didn't, oh, go ahead.
I have a motion.
Okay,
Regarding the matter of Hebron and Bridgewater, I move to direct the chair to notify the select boards of the district towns to assign a representative to the RSA 195 committee for purposes of holding its first meeting between April 15th and May 9th, and which date shall be determined by the chair.
is there a second to the motion?
Second.
If I could speak to the motion.
Sure.
Madam Chair, last year, this is essentially the procedure that we adopted, and the first meeting was actually held on May 20th. That made things a little bit tight date-wise because that required us to have a report prior to the 20th of November. And given all the discussion recently about dates and calendars, I thought if we could start a couple of weeks early, it might be less pressure on all of us.
Can you pass this down to Leah? Okay, all those in favor of Paul's motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
We didn't ask for extensions.
Any abstentions? One abstention? Okay, so that was 6 for, 1 abstention, Leah, from Jeff?
Only because I didn't hear it. So.
Yeah, and I voted after because I was writing. Okay,
Would you like me to draft a letter for you?
sure, yeah. Thank you. So, you're almost ready for calendar?
Almost.
Okay, I'm going to read the motion while we wait for the calendar. Is that okay?
If you can read that, yeah.
I can. Okay, so the motion is to accept the school calendar for the 2014-15 school year as created and amended during tonight's meeting. Do I have a second?
Yes, second that.
Now we're just waiting for the hard Oh, if anyone needs a biological break while we're waiting, feel free. Announcements? Sure. Any announcements, Stacy?
I just, I have for the board members, New Hampshire School Boards Association has their annual training.
Hey, Dawn, sorry, I know I gave you a break, but now Stacy.
I'm just trying to move this along. So New Hampshire School Boards Association has an annual training for new school board members or returning school board members. It is scheduled for April 29th in Concord or May 1 in Wakefield. So I did bring a copy of that, particularly for new board members, but if anybody's interested in attending it, please let me know. We can sign you up for it and pay for the registration right through the SAU office, so.
I intend to go.
So just, if you want to send me an email, I can, we can get you registered for that.
Stacy, did you also make a note to bring the JFG before policy?
What's the name of it?
I don't really know. It has to do with dangerous objects on school property, I guess. It's by public request.
Yes. Stacy's going to collect them, but I'll pass it over. Let's put your name on it.
Yeah, that we know. We just random sample who we think can fill them out. That'd be a challenge.
So do you put them in a spreadsheet for me?
Yeah, whatever looks good.
Yeah, okay.
I can let them
We'll bring your spreadsheet back to the next meeting.
Or you could propose committees together.
Yeah.
See if they agree to those.
Yeah.
That might be,
Excel sheet.
yeah.
And there's another one of those.
Okay, well,
Too many pieces of paper.
I think that as we bring back and while we're waiting, we can set our next meeting date.
Yep, it's April 14th is your next meeting. We will have, at that point, teacher nominations
So
will
need
have to be approved on that day.
non-public?
Yeah.
Okay, guess I have a meeting somewhere. Okay, so, April 14th is our next board meeting, and we will have a non-public.
Yes.
No, we haven't got it yet.
On June. So close.
That's okay. Is there any other business, like anything, any of you wanted to bring forward?
Do those meetings always start at 6? Or is it 6?
They're usually at 6:30?
It's not public, it's usually
Is that okay, Stacy? You'll be ready for 6 o'clock for the non-public, 6:30 for public on the 14th?
On the 14th, sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did you talk about this?
Did we talk about April?
Yes. I just said if you want to go to, let me know.
I have a question for you. If we meet on cost items and they're not done by the time we issue contracts, and then we give people a raise, we can, how do we?
So cost items will not be done because you'll have to go through a whole election process.
Right.
So teachers will get contracts, the same identical salary as this year. If before the next school year starts, it's elected, voted on and approved, then we would revise contracts and reissue contracts.
Okay.
So teachers will get, at this point, teachers will get on the 15th contracts that have the identical salary as they have this year.
Should I print copies for the audience?
They'd love to have
Yes.
I'm seeing lots of head shake.
A reward for being so patient.
And the first to get hot off the press.
Oh, Jesus. Cancel.
Oh, no, how many?
Oh, I missed one day marker. Got a little overzealous in June.
I actually did let that buffer, but there's so many days in between that have stipulations.
I should have used Carrie's color printer.
Yeah, you went through all that, the color code.
Supplies on the color corner.
I'm going to pass this down.
Oh man, Carrie's gonna be mad seeing all them copies come out there.
Well, they do
Probably not, because the next week is school break. Well, is it school break here? My kids and I are taking vacation. You too? It stinks, and then in a way, you get to be mom taking school break.
Better than
And when Newfound has that one day off, is that your vacation? So your kids are home one day during yours? But it's during mine.
our days don't. Our single days don't.
Okay.
Gray and dark gray.
How many colors did you use?
Yeah. They're all different
Actually
shades of
had
gray
blue
now.
for the early releases.
There are some that are really narrow,
I
yeah.
highlighted the changes. One to Fred, I'm sure he's chomping at the bit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. Don't get all disappointed.
Whether to use Saturdays for additional snow days.
Yes, I don't want that. There would only be one anyway.
Well, no, there could be more than one if you have 12 or 13 snow days.
Oh, well,
It would be as ever many days.
Yeah, so that asterisk that says April vacation used for additional snow days,
Are you gonna put something else in place of that, like Saturdays?
What if you put April vacation may be used?
right,
And
and
then you could decide.
Yes.
Can you
April
change it?
vacation
Is it?
Yeah, you can, yeah.
may be used for additional snow days.
Because a lot
but
of people make plans for that
course.
way.
They buy plane tickets.
And I've had years, like, in the last district where we had alternate studies where we've actually then decided to change civil rights day. You know what, like, then you really have to think outside of the box on, we've added time to the day. Like, there's lots of things you can think about. But legally, you have to have the 10 days available.
One other correction too, in June, it calculates out to 180 days, but there's now 13 days in June. I left it as 10, so the 10 should be 13. That's the one I didn't finish. On the June calendar, when you add up the days, 13 days is what it should read, which is still 180, but we changed the 180.
Okay, so I have a motion from Jeff to approve this and a second from Sue. Before I ask for a vote, is there anything else you notice on it that,
I know I couldn't help it, it's the formatting.
yeah,
Thank
any
you.
further discussion? Okay, all those in favor of this new calendar, say aye.
All right.
Opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, Leah, that was 700?
No, it's just.
Leah, have you ever thought about joining us? Okay, just so you could hear?
She likes sitting over there.
Okay, is there anything else to come before the board, from the board? Okay, so I have a motion, right, to move into non-public session at this time? And a second? Okay, there is no vote on that?
Yes, you have.
There-
You have it.
Oh,
That has to be a roll
okay,
call.
all right, got it. Okay, so I need to call the roll, so does Alexandria agree?
Yes.
Bridgewater?
Yes.
Bristol?
Yes.
Danbury, yes. Grattan?
Yes.
Hebron?
Yes.
And New Hampshire? Okay, so do we want to remove them all?